calculating a percent. So in general, a percent can be calculated by dividing a part of something by a whole. And I'll show you what I mean. Here's an example. Caitlin scored 27 out of 36 on her social studies test. What was her percent? Well, we're going to do that by calculating or dividing the part, she got 27 on her test, by the whole, she got 27 out of a possible 36 on the test. So to calculate a percent, we divide 27 divided by 36, and we get a decimal 0.75. So division will usually turn the result into a decimal value, and to turn it into a percent, we're going to multiply by 100. So now we multiply that by 100, and we get 75%. Occasionally there will be situations where percents bigger than 100 can make some sense. Even though, we're talking about percent in terms of parts and wholes, how can a part be bigger than a whole? Well, I'll show you here. So Michael worked all summer to save up for a car. His goal was to save $1,200, but he actually managed to save more than that. He managed to save $1,650. What percent of his goal did he save? Well, now this is basically our part, and here is our whole. His whole goal was just $1,200, but he managed to save $1,650. So if we divide those, we get a decimal of 1.375, and then we're going to times it by 100, and we get 137.5%. So Michael saved, so in here the percent being bigger than 100 is telling us that Michael saved more than he needed. You'll also see this sometimes when you're comparing new values to old values. If something grows, you might see that percent rise over 100%. Lastly, we can also analyze our histograms using percent and other types of graphs as well. So what percent of black cherry trees are between 60 and 70 feet tall? So that would be this group here. Well, how many trees are in there? Well, we have 3 in the first bin, 3 in the second, for a total of 6 cherry trees. And then if we counted up all the cherry trees, we'd find that there were 31 trees in the whole set of data. So what percent are between 60 and 70? Well, there's 6 trees between 60 and 70 out of 31 in total. And 6 divided by 31 is 0.1935 ... And we're going to times that by 100 and find that it's 19 point, and then I'll just round to one decimal place, 19.4%.